Good morning, Lolo Elementary. This is John Conan. I am an author of a book that Principal Keens has invited me to do today. The title of the book is Benjamin's Visit to Principal Reed's Office Again. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about this story of Benjamin. Benjamin gets in trouble a lot. In fact, he's been in the office several different times. You might know people that do that, or you might be that person that goes to the office a lot. And wait until you see what this principal does in order to support Benjamin. Now, this story is kind of based on myself. I did go to the office quite a bit. My mom was a teacher, but I was probably in the office every single year. So this is a story on how I would like to be treated by my principal. And then at the very end of the story, we're going to go through some questions that go with it. So also, I'm making sure that you know that this is not the original story. The original story is this one I have in my hand. The one I'm going to read to you is a rough draft. And so this went to my editor, and the editor then changed about 10 different things in the story. And one of them is going to be the title. You're going to notice the title right away has been changed. And then there are several things in the story that are changed. This book will be in your library at Lolo Elementary, and you're going to be able to check it out and see if you can notice the things that the editor changed in the book, Benjamin's Visit to Principal Reed's Office. All right, we're ready to go. Take a look at that title page again. Do you notice the difference? Give you the first hint. It says Principal Reed's and Benjamin's visit to the office, not the first. Benjamin found himself going down to Principal Reed's office again. This was not the first time. Benjamin knew exactly what Principal Reed's was going to ask. Benjamin, tell me why you're here. Let's process. Benjamin liked Principal Reed's but hated to be in his office to process. When Principal Reed's used the word process, he knew that usually meant a long time talking about what happened, what he could have done differently, and how he was going to fix it. Benjamin had been through the process several times. The process seemed to work for a little while, then something else would happen requiring another visit to Principal Reed's office. Everyone at Booking Elementary had to process with Mr. Reed's when they came to the office. Benjamin's anger began to increase, and his feeling of nervousness set in as he slowly walked to the office. His teacher, Mrs. Hardback, made him carry a big binder down to the secretary. Benjamin did not know why he had to carry the binder down to the office, but he overheard his teacher talking with Miss Paperwork, the secretary, about the heavy work. Benjamin felt proud that he was doing work for his teacher, and it was truly heavy. He thought maybe they could not carry that binder themselves, and he was doing them a big favor. As Benjamin entered the Principal Reed's office, he noticed Principal Reed's doing jumping jacks. Well, this was weird, thought Benjamin. He had seen him do strange stuff before. Well, this was weird, like with a capital W. Benjamin, join me in doing jumping jacks. I bet you can keep up with me. Benjamin said hesitantly, I'm not very good at jumping jacks, Mr. Reed's. Principal Reed's continued to invite him. Come on, dude. I bet you can do this as fast as me. Benjamin started. 1, 2, 3, 4. This seemed to go on forever. Principal Reed's finally said, hey, the record in my office is 91. Should we go for it? Okay, let's go for it, said Benjamin. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Let's take a break, said Principal Reed's. Yes, I'm exhausted. Benjamin's anger seemed to be gone and his nervousness had dissipated. Benjamin thought that maybe this was a trick. Why are you doing jumping jacks, Mr. Reed's? I don't know, but I was getting upset and needed to do something to calm down myself. And I thought, why not jumping jacks? Explained Principal Reed's. Principal Reed's knew that in order to get Benjamin to process, he had to give him some glass first. I thought it might be a trick so I can process with you sooner and not be so mad, said Benjamin. Actually, I have time, Ben. Can I call you Ben? Exclaimed Mr. Reed's. Yes, you can call me Ben. What do you mean have time? Well, I know you're down here for a reason, but when you're ready to process, we will then have our learning conversation, said Principal Reeds. No, I'm not ready yet, Mr. Reeds, said Benjamin. As soon as Mr. Reed said that, he turned around and started working on his computer. He then pulled out a green list with students' names on it. Benjamin wondered if all those students on the green list were in trouble. Mr. Reeds picked up the phone, dialed the phone number, and Benjamin hoped it was not his parents' number. While it was ringing, Benjamin asked, who are you calling? Before anyone could answer the phone, Mr. Reeds said, hello, is this Mr. Skimmer? This is Mr. Reeds from Booking Elementary. How you doing today? I'm calling to give you a positive about Billy. Yes, I get to call him positives too. Mrs. McChapter, your son's teacher, said he has been a model student. He gets along with everyone in the classroom, and he has made great growth on his last reading test, from a 74% to a 90%. I will pass on the praise back to Miss McChapter too. Have a great afternoon. Mr. Reeds, I didn't know you called parents to give them positive praise, said Benjamin. Yeah, it gets really boring when all I do is make those hard phone calls on bad behavior. I like to mix it up with some positives too. Is this another one of your tricks, Mr. Reeds? What do you mean, Ben? While I'm sitting here waiting to process, you're calling other parents about their kid being good, proclaimed Ben. Actually, Ben, I have a lot of work to do. I make phone calls all day long. If I did not use my time wisely, I might have to stay after school late to finish. I don't want to stay late tonight. I want to get home and play with my new dog. I'm ready to start. Mr. Reed started the conversation, but seemed to start from the end instead of the beginning. Ben, how are you going to fix the problem? Mr. Reeds knew that this strategy sometimes works to get students to focus on how they will repair or fix the problem. I'm going to fix it by talking with my teacher. I'm going to tell her I am sorry for not listening and making noises so other students could not learn. I should probably also apologize to my class too, said Benjamin. This is a great start, Ben. I noticed this is not your first time visiting with me about not doing your job and disrupting the learning of other students. In order for your plan to be successful, we have to change the behavior. We need something to decrease. How often this happens, or frequency, how long this occurs, duration, or how upset you get, the intensity. Therefore, we need to choose one or all of those to change. How is your solution going to be different? Mr. Reeds, I think I need to work on the frequency. I can decrease the number of times I disrupt the class. I need to be on task more, said Benjamin. Great plan, Ben. Let's get it into writing. Make sure we update your parents on the plan that you created and get you back to class, said Mr. Reeds. Take 5 minutes and write down the 5 strategies you're going to use in the classroom. You may write them on this paper. It'll be a behavior contract you have created yourself. You will have my support, and you will have your parents sign it and bring it back tomorrow. While you're working, I'm going to keep working while you write down your 5 strategies. Let me know when you're done so we can finalize your plan. If you need support, just ask me. Okay, I'll start. I'll ask you if I need support. Mr. Reeds continued making 3 more positive phone calls to parents while Ben continued to work on his behavior contract. Mr. Reeds, I'm done. Can we go over it now? Yes. Let me finish this last phone call and then we can go over it. Ben felt better about coming to Mr. Reed's office, and he knew his conversation with his parents was going to be difficult. His parents were going to be upset. Okay, Ben, let's go through your plan. First, tell me why you're in my office. Then, read your plan to me. Okay, I'm here today because I got in trouble for not doing my job in the classroom. I disrupted the rest of the class's learning by making noises. I stole their learning. Here are the 5 strategies I'm going to use next time. I will listen to directions the first time. 2, I will ask my teacher for a break if I need to move. 3, I will be respectful to my class so I don't steal their learning time. 4, I will use my fidget so it does not distract other students when I feel nervous or need to talk. And 5, I will track my blurt outs on a sticky note so I can decrease the frequency. Mr. Reeds was proud. I think you have a great plan. You have 5 fantastic strategies that you can use to support yourself. When you sign the bottom of your behavior contract, that tells me, your parents, as well as your teachers, that you're going to do your job in the classroom. It also tells everyone that you are responsible for using these 5 strategies every day. If this continues, we may have to move to the next level of support. That could include more help from home or from me in your classroom. We'll be doing a check-in and check-out each day. I don't think we're going to have to do that next level, but I wanted you to know what that might look like. We will be meeting once a week to discuss your progress on your plan and your data from your self-tracking tool. Thanks, Mr. Reeds. I cannot wait to show you my progress. As Benjamin walked down to the classroom, all he could think about was doing jumping jacks with Mr. Reeds and hoping to get a positive call from Mr. Reeds someday. Hello? Is this Benjamin's mom? This is Mr. Reeds from Booking Elementary. I'm calling you with some positive news today. Benjamin came up with a plan that uses 5 strategies that'll help him in the classroom. He created this plan on his own. Though he spent time with me today processing, I cannot wait to see his plan in action tomorrow. Can you make sure to praise him for his ownership and his behaviors today, as well as creating a behavior plan that will fix it? Have a great day. And that is the end of Benjamin's visit to Principal Reed's office again. At the end of the book, there are some strategies that parents, teachers, and even principals can use with students. There's 17 of them. You can go through them at the end of the book. We used all of those in the story. So I have a couple questions for you. First one's kind of a funny one. Do you think your principal, Principal Keats, has ever been in the principal's office before? I know the answer. You're going to have to ask her. Number 2, what did Benjamin really want? What was the biggest thing that he wanted by the end of the story? Yes, he wanted a phone call. And lastly, would you like to have a principal like Principal Reeds? Tell us why, or tell a parent in your home. All right, this has been John Conant for the book, Benjamin's Visit to Principal Reed's Office Again. Have a great day, Lolo Elementary.